Alright, we're taking a look here at our 3-row, 1-drawer utility cart. Just finished up assembly and it took just over an hour to do with help of some power tools. All they send you in the way of tools is this thing here. I didn't even use that. And then you do get color instructions, but they are pretty minimal. They glaze over a lot. You know, they point out that obviously the swivel casters need to be on one side. One set swivels, one set does not, so obviously you have to pair those. A lot of it is self-evident, but like where they say choose the laminate without the bar as the second layer, it's not super clear. They're talking about the little piece of metal here to catch on this lock latch, and this thing is kind of a joke, but you almost have to use it, or I'm going to have to put some magnets in it because I have no intention of using keys that I'm going to lose to get in and out of that drawer. But just the vibration of rolling it around and it opens up, because it actually is a good sliding drawer, I'll give it that. So I'm going to have to get a couple of magnets to keep that closed, because you can't remove the key once it's in the unlock position, and yeah, it's just not the best. Many panels were, I'd say almost everything had some kind of imperfection. So there's some dents here right out the gate. There's some similar stuff on pretty much all of the panels, and I'll cut to a different segment of video with a silly issue that I had. Alright, I just cut them off with the angle grinder there. Just a little zip zip. Good to go. With the casters, the bolts were sticking down too far and wouldn't let these things actually swivel. And I'm not going to put the bolts in with the threads sticking up because I want to put stuff here and I don't want bolt threads stabbing things, so I wasn't going to put these the other way. But yeah, it's just, I had to actually cut those with a grinder. The other side was fine. Drawer's not too bad. It looks like a lot of fasteners when you get out of the bag. It's not too bad. It's all sets of 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4 all around the corners. There's that drawer vibrating open. It opens smoothly. Rolls nice. Very cheap, very thin metal. 400-pound rating is an absolute joke, as is the asking price for this. It's not a bad cart by any means, but it's the pricing at the time that I'm reviewing it is far too high for what it is. You know, this is a step below even your Harbor Freight kind of thin metal stuff. That's still, I'm not totally like, I don't dislike the cart. I think these orange inserts are kind of cool. You know, this looks nice. It's not really that useful to me because I don't have any square pegboard stuff, but it looks all right. Help provide a little rigidity. It rolls smoothly enough, even on ruffled, wore out concrete. So, you know, it's some good and some bad. If you're looking at this and it's on a really good sale for like half of what it is at the time that I'm reviewing it, then it's a nice enough little cart. It's not horrible. The hardware stinks. The bolts given are worse quality than anything that Harbor Freight stuff sells or is built with. A lot of grinding out chunks of metal out of these, and the sizes are vaguely 10 and 14 millimeter, but the 14 millimeter socket slipped a lot on the heads of these, so it's not great. First time that I get my little wire feed welder out of the clutter here, I'll probably do a few tack welds to keep myself from going crazy trying to tighten this up constantly. They don't provide any washers, no lock washers, no lock nuts. It's just bolts and nuts. And I put 4 of my own lock washers on the 4 bolts that deal with the handle, just because I figure that's where it's probably going to loosen up first. But I think a few tack welds or some JB weld on the threads or something, try to keep it from rattling apart, because as they ship it to you with no lock nuts, no lock washers, a little bit of just rolling and rattling around, and it's going to be all set to loosen itself up in good quick order. So it's not super impressive. Looks way better in photos and video than it does when you're putting it together. It's small too. It's a really small cart. Not so small as to not be useful, but look at the dimensions. It's no big old tool cart or anything. That's not bad either, so I don't mind it. I would not pay full price for it, and I think they skimped in a few places and made it real thin and way overrated it for what it is, but not all bad. Got all the hardware that I had to have to put together, and it went together okay. So even with really vague and not the most, there's not much to putting it together. So even though the directions are vague, there's not much to this thing. It's pretty self-evident. There's only 2 sizes of bolts, and one size is used up entirely on just the casters in step 1. So after that, all the bolts are the same. It's not too bad, but cute enough little cart. Nothing special. A little overpriced, a little overrated, but I'm still going to use it.